Guys, we are lucky that I have the friends I have because we have something special to look at today. This is a Noble Knives Vindicator with the harpoon blade, and it's got a recurve and carbon fiber, and it's just a really cool knife. Luckily, Matt's friend, Jeff, mutual friend, had this knife. It had a couple little things that we needed to do, which I'm still working on. But we took care of it. It had some lock rock, some lock play. And so while it's here, I figured we'd look at it and see what you guys think, because it's an attractive knife. So hang on a second and we'll get into this, but turn the volume down because here comes the music. So, when I had the meetup and went up to when we did the big meetup, it was we called it the Inland Empire Knife Meetup. Matt and his friend Jeff both came, and Jeff brought this with him, and I told him that I could fix some of the issues with it. And while it was here, we decided that I just decided I would do a video on it. So what this is a full custom. This isn't a production knife. This is the first, I think this is the first custom I've had, like full custom I've had in for a while. So you get, on this one, it's a textured titanium scale with carbon fiber, and then a really well done XHP blade. Now, I didn't sharpen it yet, so you guys know XHP, I have some issues with the way it feels, the way the edge it takes, sometimes it feels gritty. It feels really coarse and toothy, like it doesn't want to get a refined edge on it. But XHP is not a bad steel. So this one's been anodized purple with it's got a unique color bronze pivot. Really nice stonewash on this recurved harpoon style blade. Nice jimping and stuff like that. So we'll turn this around and we'll take a look at it. But before I do that, I was gonna just let you guys know. Somebody commented on one of the videos like, well, if you don't like the knives, why do you keep getting them? Guys, none of the knives that you see on this channel often, except for things that I use for comparison, are mine. Everything that you guys will see on this channel has either come from somebody that sent it in to put it in a video, or somebody that I know that's in for sharpening, and I ask them if I could put it in a video. So when I find things wrong with knives, it's not a knife I purchased. I'm not into purchasing knives too often these days. It's an expense that I don't have time for. So with that being said, let's turn it around and take a good look at this because it is an attractive knife. So hang out just a second and we'll get it flipped around. We'll get some weight. We'll get some video of it from reverse camera so you guys can see it. All right, guys. So first off, let's take a look at this, because this is not a light knife, but it's also, you know, it's not overly heavy, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's partially carbon fiber. So the knife comes in at 176 grams, which for me, that's not too heavy. For a lot of people, that may be heavier than they want to carry. It is done with a really well done carbon fiber scale, which I can tell you is a pain to get carbon fiber to do what you want it to. Nice clean carbon fiber scale. Interesting milled pivot. Only one screw, single-sided pivot. Large flipper tab. Bronze titanium backspacer. It's also been textured. Large pocket clip, and the textured titanium that, as you can see, is almost a wood grain. So the knife blade itself is really well done. I just oiled it. So if you see, there's a bunch of oil on it. The blade itself is well done. It's got a really good dark stone wash on it. It's well ground. Recurves sometimes have a tendency to be ground poorly. I have not sharpened this. So Noble Knives marking, you can see it's fairly thick blade stock. It's about the same as a Strider SMF, if you guys are familiar with that. All in all, it's fairly comfortable. The only issue I really have with this knife, I like the overall shape. It's really comfortable. I'm not a fan of the pocket clip. And you guys know I don't like the external cutouts on lock bars. Now, this had a couple issues that we took care of. Majority of the lock still needs to be carbonized. But had some play and stuff in it. But this is really a nice knife. All Torx hardware. It does have a rolling detent with titanium on steel interface. There is no lock bar insert, only a rolling detent. And all the lines except for, like, I think this one little spot here are nice and smooth. There's no real rough spots unless you're down here in the backspacer. Some of those edges are sharp, but like up here where you're holding it, no problem. The large flipper tab, you get really good purchase and it turns into a finger guard. I'm not a big fan of the flipper tab. I like a smaller flipper tab, but I do understand that's a big heavy blade. So it's got a flipper tab that will allow you to actuate it with no problems. There are some cutouts in here to lighten the knife. You can see in there that spot's been milled out. Some internal milling done. And then, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's numbered inside. I'm trying to see if I can see what number that is. I think it's a 20. You guys tell me. What do you guys see? 26. I actually had to zoom in. I couldn't see it with my own eyes. I had to zoom in on it with the camera. Part of the thing I don't like about the pocket clip is it's got the Morse code button going to it. But other than that, I mean, the knife is well done. It's gorgeous. It's not uncomfortable in hand. I'm not a fan of titanium on steel lockup. If you can hear it, it wants to, it starts to get some lock stick from time to time, depending on how hard it gets deployed. And then I think that there needs to be just a tiny bit more lock bar tension on this. But I do like how it's cleaned, how it's opened up here, so you can get your finger in there to unlock the knife. Nice clean lines. I really like that pivot. Really like that. It's a nice looking pivot on that carbon fiber back. So let's turn this around and have some final thoughts on it, and then I got some news for you guys. So, like I said, really, really nice knife overall. It's a pretty well built custom. Like I said, I'm not too into custom knives these days. I've kind of gotten out of that. I don't actually buy much of anything anymore. The only stuff that ever comes in, the only thing you guys ever see stuff that comes in. So I do have another knife here that I'm thinking about doing a video about it, but it's probably just going to be an Instagram post about sharpening it. It is a Tracker Dan full SM100 dagger that came in from a guy named Anthony. I just finished sharpening it the other day. I've got to get it back out to him, so I don't think you guys are going to get to see it, but I will tell you, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I have boxes here on the table that are going out today, so if you guys have stuff with me, there's 4 packages going out today. If you've got stuff here with me, it's going out today if it's done, with the exception of Anthony's stuff, because I have to find his address again. But he's kind of local. So, yeah, it's just that. The news. You ready for the news? I have been with Artisan Knives. I've talked with Artisan Knives several times since the last video. They are working on prototypes for both the Sea Snake and another knife that I used to call the Scorpion, but there's way too many knives out there called the Scorpion, which we are renaming the Habu. And so you guys know I have this propensity to name things after venomous creatures. So the Habu is a venomous snake in southern Japan. It's like a grass viper. It's not super venomous, but still it'll bite you and put you in a hospital. So those should be coming hopefully soon. The whole coronavirus thing put a hitch in the giddy up on that. So those will be coming out. And so that you guys know, my daughter is on the US team now. And if any of you guys would like to try and support that through the GoFundMes that I put in the videos, by all means, that would be greatly appreciated, because even though I'm working full time, today it's raining, so we're not working. It was a rainy day. You can't work at a construction site that's predominantly dirt on a day like today. You can't dig, you can't do anything, so we're off today. It's still raining. It's probably gonna rain all week, so there's a good chance I'm gonna make a few knives and post them up for sale if I can get up to the shop. So with that, like I said, with that being said, even with the full-time job and the wife working and all this other stuff, crazy expensive. So any of you guys that would like to help out, that's fine. I'll put a link to the GoFundMe down below. And you guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. If you don't want to do the GoFundMe, I have the Patreon. The Patreon is hard to link these days. I can't, it's not one to show up. But I do have a Patreon, and I'm pretty sure you can find me on Patreon if you want to support me that way. And I will be putting more videos up. Hopefully, it's just a matter of having time and being able to do it. You know, after working, I've worked some 10s, and then after working in the sun all day, a lot of times I just come home and I just want to lay down. So I apologize for the infrequency of the videos, but basically, I mean, we're pretty much at a point where I don't have much to put up. I mean, there's not a lot going on. There's not much coming in. I haven't had a lot to put up. I do have a knife, I think, that came in today that I'm going to do a video about, that I really am looking forward to doing a video about. And I will give you, in the last part of the video here, I'll give you a look at Matt's tie button lock Mordax that has been buoyed out to change the blade profile. And so since it's a Geiger Mordax buoy, this is the Gabudax, the Geiger buoy Mordax. He has another one just almost the same. It's been reprofiled and stuff like that. There's a good chance my Mordax is gonna get buoyed. So guys, that's it. I'm glad I had the day that I could do this. I gotta go pick my daughter up at the ice rink here in a couple hours. Since I'm off, I'm saving my wife the trouble. So we did pull her out of regular school. She's now in a self-paced charter school here in San Diego. I don't want you guys to think that like that's an additional cost. It is not. That is a part of the school district that we were able to use. But that means that she only has to go to school 2 days a week for only a couple hours. And that means that she's going to be able to spend as much time as possible on the ice, because she is on the US team and she's got to practice these routines and have them down, because there's a good chance she's going to be going to other competitions overseas. Guys, I love you all. Have a good week. Take care of yourselves. If you're here in San Diego, be careful this rain. It's supposed to rain for a while. I will get this video edited and put together and hopefully up this afternoon. We have a meeting this afternoon at my daughter's new school. So if it doesn't go up before that, it probably won't go up until tomorrow. Take it easy, guys. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.